What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not on Our Top 10 show. How bad was the fake baby in American Sniper? It's on the TV back here in the new studio. Come on! But it is ridiculously bad. But that leads me into what we're actually going to talk about. Inspired by Captain America Civil War, we are actually doing the best war films post-1989, folks. It gets a little tricky, a little modern warfare in there, maybe some other stuff. Caught myself. But we'll see what happens. With me today, Trace Couch Patchin.
Ow, ow.
And pimping the airwaves, like always, Damon Big DZ Gumbert.
Yo, what up?
I just want to plug a few things. One thing that we actually just did, literally just did, was our Captain America Civil War roundtable review. It's actually a square table, but it's somewhat rounded, so we'll go with that.
It makes more sense.
Yes.
You can't hurt yourself on it, so it's fine.
It's true. And also individual reviews by myself and the Big DZ Gumbert.
Hello.
So, here's how it works. We each went our separate ways once we describe once we settled on best war films post-1989. We created a top 10 list. Now, what happens when we come back here is we highlight our 5 through 1. If, for some reason, which is mostly the case, usually the case, somebody has a similar film in their top 5, whoever has the... Which way do we go? Higher or lower for closer to 5? I always forget.
I would say higher.
Okay, so the higher... Whoever has that film higher on their list, or lower...
It's so...
Towards number 5.
Lower.
I know.
Towards number 5 has to replace it with their number 6. If their number 6 is taken, then 7, 8. If you've ever listened to this, you'll know what we're talking about. And you probably listened to it because we're still trying to get out there a little bit more. So share this stuff. All right.
Damn it.
Gosh.
Well, let's jump right into it. I want to hear Damon's... we'll go 5-4 for each of us. 3-2, and then 1, of course.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling everyone's going to have the same one because I broke down and went with...
Probably not.
Really? It's easy and
Here, I have a vision. I say Damon's number 1 is a Hurt Locker. I say Trace's number 1 is Saving Private Ryan. Let's do this. Damon, you want to start
That
us?
was bizarre. Okay, yeah, I can start it off.
bizarre.
My number 5 is the movie Blood Diamond.
5.
Oh
Come on! Sierra Leone!
Holy shoot. Can I change?
No.
I can change mid-show?
If you forgot, I
totally forgot
I
that
honestly do
movie.
not care. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Can I change? I'm going to put
can
that
do
in my
it.
5. Let's just all talk about it.
Let's do
All right,
it.
let's talk about it.
Boom.
Damon, you start.
All right, Blood Diamond.
Yeah, bro.
What can you even... Yeah. What can we even say about this movie? It's so heartbreaking.
Oh.
Like... I can't say his name right.
Pijman Hanso.
Yeah, that. He's,
Very good. I was going to say
it was-
Houston. I literally wrote it, Digimon Houston.
I practiced that a couple times.
All right, so he's just a humble man living with his family in
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Thank you. And
In the continent of Africa, not the country Africa.
Yes.
Africa's not a country, it's a continent.
jackasses.
Sorry.
And one day, the war-ravaged country takes his... I mean, doesn't it murder his... No. Does his family die? I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Oh, his
so
family,
much.
yes.
I know his son lives.
Except his son, yeah.
No. His family does not die.
No, wait,
No,
you're
I
right.
was pretty
get-
sure they
get
went to like one of
separated
those
from him.
camps.
Because,
Yep.
the rebels come
Yes.
into their home. I think they're just average
Yes.
fisherman community.
Yes.
And the rebels come into their home and
take
disband
the
the
son.
whole family.
Yep.
Grab the son, but they also steal...
They steal him.
Digimon Houston.
I'm looking up his character's name because this is going to be too...
Oh, no, it's a Solomon. Solomon Vandy.
Yeah.
Yes.
A
okay,
pink
solid.
diamond brew.
Yes.
That's great.
One of Leo's...
Oh, man.
I don't know if it's
Finest
one of those...
hours.
It really is.
It
Like,
was such a
think
hard
about
year for, like, because I think it's, like, the same year that The Departed came out, and I was just
It
honestly
is.
like, how do you pick between those two movies? I'm like, what's better?
I thought as an acting
Leo.
performance, I think that movie wins over for Leo's performance, hands down.
It's weird just because I mean he's in Blood Diamond more than he's in The Departed because they have so many different characters in The Departed.
Right.
TIA Denny.
But
Danny Acha.
I don't know. I think The Departed's better. It's it's my favorite movie of all time. But
I mean, you just look at the
yeah. For the top 50 that'll never come.
Not my fault. Don't blame me.
He blamed me. Those were his last words.
But yeah, I mean, Blood Diamond. It's just. It's been a while since I watched it. And obviously, I forgot about it.
It's an incredible movie. I mean, it's so heartbreaking. I mean, what has it been like 10 years? I'm gonna say spoiler.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna say spoiler alert anyway. But when Leo's dying on that like ridge, it's just and he's like on the phone talking to that reporter. It's just like,
oh, dude, Maddie Bowen brew.
yeah, it's just like, oh my god, like he's just like sitting there dying. He just wants to like talk to her. And it's
well, you get a sense of his arc, the way he was. The best thing I like about how that Edward Zwick is a brilliant director. I will just say that Danny Archer or Leo DiCaprio's character is so well written for because he has an arc, but he's still a shithead.
yeah.
Even with 15 minutes prior to him being on that deathbed or death rock or whatever it is, he's calling Solomon Vandy a kaffir. That's what he's calling him. That he's basically, I'm your master.
Yeah.
You do what I say. I want that pink diamond brew. But
After everything.
I love it. It's great. But that you still have him, but you can kind of reach into his soul and see into his soul from that point where you're on your deathbed or wherever you are, you're dying, you know you're not getting out of this.
Yep.
And what does he do? He calls the only person that he can truly
Connect with.
Yeah, exactly. Connect with Maddie Bowen, and he's known her very shortly.
Yeah, like a couple days.
Yeah,
and
but
I mean, he didn't even see her for most of that time.
But the war-torn Sierra Leone is beautifully it's beautifully shot, and you have you have mountains with clouds, and they're reaching each other. You have cities in South Africa. You have so much going on. It's a little Hollywood. You have shit thrown in there with Leo's relationship with the bartender, and you see the flash of the bartender dead when once the rebels take over that South African city. I forget what it's called. I should know, but yeah, I think then you have the guy who plays the mummy as one of the colonel, and their reactions with each other, the way they talk. You see this sand, it's red with blood. This is the way it has been. This is the way it's going to be. And he sort of speaks some truth, almost like another film that I have in my top 5. But also, I'm really stretching here, so bear with me. Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame sings songs about how deformed and ugly Quasimodo is, and that he will be scorned by people who don't know him. And he's absolutely right. It's not the right way to say it to somebody, but he's absolutely right, and the Colonel's absolutely right. If you wanted to leave this continent, you would have left a long time ago, and he doesn't.
Yep.
But he is Danny Archer is sort of tied into this path where he's led down the right way, and he's not taking the right road himself, but Maddie Bowen, who's played by Jennifer Connelly, who to me actually keeps the story somewhat grounded, because it could go off the map if it's just Leo and thank you Solomon Vandy. If it's just them two, that it's going to get a little bit more Hollywood, and you wouldn't like it as much, but they have a lot of good effects. What's the word I'm looking for? Taylor.
Practical
Taylor. That's it.
Practical Taylor.
That's his new nickname.
Some good practical. Taylor Practical Took Wheeler. I like Ruffalo better, but but yeah, no, I think Blood Diamond is a must watch, and it is endlessly rewatchable, and it's very quotable.
Literally
sure.
We're talking about them Goovman.
Because I like so forgot about it, and I remember when it came out, I was just like so enthralled by the movie.
my
I was
God,
like,
yeah.
this is so like
I
it was
am-
under the radar kind of too.
I am
like,
baby killer. Yeah.
But yeah, great. 4.
4.
Oh yeah, that's still me.
Come on, make it 4. I know.
No,
you.
Yeah, let's all. What if our lists are all the same? That'd be great.
I would
4.
streak down this street.
Would you
probably,
really?
You guys are probably gonna have this higher, so I'm just gonna shout it out. Schindler's List.
I do not have it. I did not. I did not. I
You
put.
have it
it,
higher though, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we'll wait.
I didn't put it on there because I didn't. I didn't feel like it's for me the way I see war films.
Okay, that's understandable.
But go ahead. I want to hear.
Well, he has a higher, so we'll wait.
Oh,
Or
wait,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll replace
Yeah.
it. I'll
Replace
right?
it. 6.
I am replacing it with The Pianist.
Very good. I also had that on an honorable mention. I couldn't put it on because
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, it's very in the same vein as Schindler's List. Adrian Brody's. It's Adrian Brody, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was so many
Roman
movies.
Polanski.
Yep, Roman
Yeah.
Polanski. One of the only films I think I've ever seen that actually Roman Polanski's directed.
Rosemary's Baby.
I haven't watched it. It's on my Netflix queue. And I just haven't wanted to sit for 3 hours and watch that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's a gritty just hard movie to watch because it's just like Schindler's List. It takes place during the Holocaust. Adrian Brody's character is a Jewish pianist. I think he ends up I know he ends up playing piano or a violin or something for a bunch of Nazi officers.
Yeah.
So he's just he's almost become this slave character, and just
Yeah.
he just trying his hardest the entire movie to survive, basically not even get out, just survive, and it's just it's heartbreaking. He gets through eventually, the war ends. That's all that happens. I mean, he just survives till the end of the war, and that's it. I think he might. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I've only seen it once, but it just kind of hit me.
Well, that ending scene, I think this is in The Pianist when the roles switch and he is saved, and then the Nazis are put basically in the camp, and he sees that guy who recognized. I think he helps him almost.
Yeah, there was one guy who
gives him
who
the
did help
coat,
him.
I think.
Yes.
And he sees him, and he goes. This is. It's been a while since I watched this
Same
film.
with me. Same with me.
I thought he might have been giving him some stuff, and then one day he goes back there and they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. Everybody's
Yeah.
gone. And
I'm vaguely remembering this.
and that switch that you have there from this guy can go through and endure all of these hardships and everything, but yet he comes back and he still has a heart to take care of people who helped him through it as well. And then you get this feeling almost of sympathy for Adrian Brody's character of damn, I feel bad that this guy is gone now when Adrian Brody's character is standing there seeing the padded down grass and there's nothing left, and it's wow. I mean it's heartbreaking, but you have seen another movie with Roman Polanski directing, Chinatown.
Oh, that was him.
You own it, right?
I do own it. I didn't know he directed it. I guess I
I'm
just
swinging and missing. Chinatown, Rosemary's Baby, or
I think you'd like China. It's actually
I want to watch Chinatown
I can
big
let you
time.
borrow it.
I think it's one of those
It's on Netflix
that
right now,
sneaks
too.
up
Oh, yeah.
on you too. You would think, I mean, you got to be in the right mood for it, and honestly, you can sit down and watch it, and it's
a little
good.
longer, but
Yeah, but it'll capture your attention. I mean, it could be on a night,
for sure.
any night.
It's just I've been on a older Jack Nicholson movie kick lately, so I've been wanting to watch it. Yeah, so
5 Easy Pieces was a tough one
Also,
for
you
me
should
to watch.
finish Unity so I can have my DVD.
yeah, I
back.
need to do that. Okay,
So you
are
did
done?
5.
I got 5 with Blood Diamond. I'm gonna throw out 4 with Braveheart.
Higher.
Higher?
Yeah.
Piss. All right, we'll drop down to my original 5, which is now my 6. Inglourious Bastards.
Honorable mention again. I
I
couldn't.
had it a little bit lower.
Okay, cool. So, it's what more you can say than a war World War II war film directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
He's
Changes history.
Yeah, it literally changes history, and it's over the top, but it's so well done. Fantastic casting choices with Aldo Rain and Brad Pitt. I mean, he was hilarious throughout the movie. His French scene.
Eli Roth is the bear Jew.
Yeah,
like Eli Roth.
Like
Come
Eli
on.
Roth.
Oh,
the
dude,
guy
okay.
from the
Keep
Office.
talking. I gotta show you something.
Okay. But yeah, so I mean, the film. Yeah, I mean, and I guess obviously, while I'm on actors,
This is an actual T-shirt.
That's so good.
That is pretty dope.
That is really cool.
Never fit me from the time I bought it, but I couldn't get rid of it ever.
This-
For anybody listening, it's actually an Eli. It says it's a picture of the bear Jew is Eli Roth, and it says in words, Eli Roth is a bastard.
It just shows him with the bat and the gun.
I saw it and I was like, dude, this is not leaving my sight.
I
It
mean,
never fit. Like I said, from the time I got it, never could wear it.
the like I was saying. Now when we're on the acting and the casting choices, so we get the first major introduction to the great Christoph Waltz. I mean, he just totally just takes this movie and runs. He steals it really
From the get-go.
From the get-go.
The start of the movie to the end of the movie.
One of the best opening sequences in a film to date, and I will argue to the death with anybody who wants to fight me on that.
Absolutely.
That opening scene is unbelievable.
The tension and the suspense, and you're like, oh my god, is he
great
gonna just get
introduction
out
to
of
that
there?
character,
Please
too.
just get out of there.
I mean,
like,
and the absence of
frick.
music until
Yeah.
shit's hitting the fan, and it's like
it's
you're
just
you're hiding
it's well
you're hiding
done.
Jews underneath your floorboards.
I mean, and just to hear and witness Quentin Tarantino his expertise with his dialogue and taking it and running with it in a movie like this, especially the big discussion scene in the basement, the basement bar with Michael Fassbender. Fassbender.
Oh yeah.
And that scene, I mean, the suspense in that, the building up of the suspense in that was great too. It's just
There's
it's
it's
very
great.
well done. The action was great. Everything, obviously some revenge elements in there because why not? It's Quentin Tarantino. But yeah, it's just a really great movie. And
I feel like
go ahead.
I feel like the reason I don't like that movie as much as other people do is because he'll switch from one of those really tense scenes like the beginning scene and then go into like this like almost hyper comedic scene where like the introduction of Aldo Rain and like,
like
all
these
the
prologues
bastards.
where yeah.
And it's like
yeah,
is this supposed to be like a drama or is it like a fake history
it's
comedy
almost a
kind of thing?
parody on it. I mean,
Yeah,
'cause
and
it's like he said before. It's rearranging history. It's
Yeah,
changing
and
history, and
it's fine, but
its
there's
take
like
on it.
there's just so much like inconsistency in like the theme of the movie.
What is
The tone of the movie, more or less.
Right. No, I completely agree. What is the Hugo character's full name?
Stiglitz.
Hugo, when he comes out and they just have
Yeah.
that scene, the still frame, the name popping up is great. It's just Tarantino.
I will say though, I have a deep admiration for Alfred Hitchcock, and out of all the directors I watch, everybody takes bits and pieces from him, but you have that overhead look, and especially in this film where you have the deep red tones of the scene with the cinema, and the overhead looks that you get is so reminiscent to me of Vertigo, where Hitchcock uses greens throughout the film. She's in a green dress with green drapes, and there's green light on the wall.
That's great.
It's almost the same exact thing in the theater with the reds because it's Nazis. So the red dress, the red lipstick, the red flags draped along the walls. But it to me is just gorgeous to look at, and but also to listen to. I mean, you could put that thing on, it could be a podcast. I would listen to that movie and just be enthralled with what it is, because it's hilarious, and at the same time, it can be serious when it wants to be.
Yeah.
Mike Myers in a serious role.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which is
I'd like
which
to
is
see more of
excellent.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. I mean, also tying back to Civil War, Captain America, Daniel Bruhl.
Oh yeah. Frederick Zola.
Yeah, he's the Nazi actor. in the film. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Natalie.
There's
Great
my
one.
point,
So that's 5-4?
5-4.
All right, 5 obviously had Blood Diamond, and 4, the film that is right behind Damon Gumbert as we speak, American Sniper, at my number 4. The reason why I put that on there is not just to piss you guys off. I swear it. But you have such a style of film, and I have never, ever been into a movie that has, and it could be filled with a bunch of Donald Trump loving Republicans, and maybe that's the reason why after the screen went black, nobody said a word. You could hear I'm not even shitting you, man. You could hear a pin drop in that movie, and I've never heard that. And maybe it's just a nice relief from people, the stupid idiots in the theater that decide to clap at the end. Like, get out of here. Who the hell are you?
There
Get
were
the
so many
fuck
people
outta
that got
here.
mad at Civil War when people started clapping.
Oh yeah, full out Alex Ray, like, shut the fuck up. No, but in all seriousness, I will honestly, and like, what do you think? You can have an emotion when someone claps. All right, shut up. You don't need to clap.
Reaction.
You could have people getting out of their chairs and rustling up garbage, the noise of popcorn and all that. Nothing. People sat in their seats almost breathless, and it was from the beginning of that film where he's about to shoot either that woman or that kid, and you have that annoying guy next to him saying, hey, they'll fry you if you're wrong. And... What?
It was a terrible line. It's just.
It is. I don't understand why that guy is in there, but to me, it ramps up that tension of are we gonna see? Is he gonna make this wrong choice? Which direction are we headed in? But I think throughout then that movie, you have a spotlight on a singular character throughout that film that goes from being someone who's lost in life, literally lost in life. He's 30 years old when he joins the Navy SEALs, and then finds his niche. I don't think shooting people is a niche, but I think being a leader and directing men in war is something that I wouldn't be able to do personally, but
Absolutely
I think
not.
that it takes a strong-willed, strong-hearted person to do that. But anyways, I believe that this film, throughout that, you have the rise and demise of a character, and you can look at it, and I'm not comparing American Sniper with Citizen Kane, but you have someone on the front, on the outside, that looks like they're in control of their entire life, like a character like Kane, and really inside there is some serious emptiness, especially in that character that Bradley Cooper portrayed, which I don't know about you guys. I think a body, physicality, acting, and the way you have to train to get either skinny like Christian Bale in The Machinist or big like he had to do in this film. To me, that's an incredible feat.
Oh, absolutely.
To be in a situation where you are constantly looking at your weight or your physical appearance or something, and being able to just to change it like that. I think that is something that people don't really give enough credit to these actors for.
Yeah.
They're paid millions of dollars to do it.
Well,
so
it's just an attribute to their their art, their craft. They're diving into it, sacrificing themselves to successfully portray the subject matter, and that's
Christian Bale in every movie he does now. He
it's
everything about himself.
It's very impressive. I mean, it's a hard task to do. God knows I haven't been able to do that.
I will. This is kind of a weird one, but I'll give Jonah Hill some credit because he goes from fat to skinny in every movie.
Yeah.
He fluctuates so much because he just do it. I mean, if it's a joking character, he'll get fat, and if it's a semi-serious role, he'll get skinny, or vice versa, actually. But
it is an impressive feat.
But I think the film overall, and I know Damon, you've said
we've had our discussion about this.
You said that it doesn't. I can't. You might actually have to correct me on this, but I thought you said that it brings in a lot of characters without describing.
No, well, not describing it. There's a lot of people around, but there's not a lot of characters. There's people that he's there talking to, but there's no they're two-dimensional. Like they're just there to be like almost background noise. Like they're there to be like someone that he's talking to. They're not like people that he has to like. I don't know. It's
and I would argue in a biopic such as this, where if you go back to Gandhi, name different characters Gandhi's talking to.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's
I was gonna say that's kind of like, I mean, that's especially with a movie like this, we're looking at this specific person's life. We're not looking about this guy.
But was there no one else in his life that like affected it? Like that's what it felt
I think
like.
I know, and I would agree with you in a sense that, and after saying it and rewatching the film, the brother is in and out of his life. Sporadically, and I think that is one aspect I think they could have taken a little bit further, but the biggest, he has been alone in his life, and it goes back and shows you that this guy doesn't really have anything. You don't hear about his parents anymore, which you can say, hey, you could speculate and say, well, the mother didn't say 2 fucking words at the table, and the dad seemed like a heartless bastard.
Yeah. There might have been some like a
that got turned into Republican memes. I'm not hating on Republicans. I'm not a liberal. Don't worry. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think he had a connection with the parents, and had he had a connection with the parents, we would have saw it. But
I would also like to add, like, I mean, you kind of can, like, just thinking back on the movie, again, I only saw it once, but, like, you can kind of see, like, he doesn't really have connection to people in general outside of the military.
Right.
Like, I mean, in his zone, when he's there, that's his life. Like, they even have that scene when that one, ex-military guy comes up to him and talks to him.
Right.
Like, I appreciate everything you do, and he's awkward about it. Like, he's super uncomfortable with just the situation.
He's definitely got some post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, he's dealing with stuff.
But I will say also that you have him in war, and you have him at home, and you can see him digress mentally throughout the film, and he is long gone, man. He's gonna strangle that dog, and it's like it's gone too far, and he needs something to live for outside of what he does there, and the only person who could channel that was his wife, who helped him find something else. But I will say, just really quickly, the B plot with the other sniper, the Olympic sniper in Iraq, is, to me, it was fulfilling because they humanized him enough. And there is another movie on this list that I could argue right now that you could say, they humanize the indigenous people. It's the same it's the same exact way they do in this film, and you are a fool if you think otherwise. That they show him, they give him, he was an Olympic sniper, they show he has a family, he shows he has a kid. Maybe they could have gone a little deeper, and then I think that's the route Spielberg was going to take, but I liked it. Like I said, it was a one-of-a-kind experience that I've had in the theater, and it blew me away emotionally watching this film, so... And like I said, I'm not some hardcore Republican. I'm not
No, I feel you.
I'm not a liberal either. So I went in to watch a movie that I thought was intriguing, and it blew me away. That was my 4. Okay. 3, Damon.
My 3 is gonna be higher on both your lists probably. It's Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Higher.
Okay, so 2 or no? We have to replace it.
Replace it.
Replace it with my previous number 7, which was Three Kings.
It's lower on my list, but it is on my list.
I had it on my list too, yeah.
8.
All right, let's talk about it.
Spike Jonze. Like when I rewatch it again, I'm like, really? Spike Jonze in this movie? That's so weird. I forgot about that totally.
There was. I wasn't about to say like there's a lot of, but I mean in comparison like Black Hawk Down, there's not a lot of like famous people in this movie, but or even Saving Private Ryan. But there was a good amount of famous people in this movie. I mean, like, wasn't Jamie Kennedy in it?
Jamie Kennedy was
Jamie
in it.
Kennedy, obviously, the 3 main characters is Clooney, Wahlberg, and Ice Cube.
Yeah, it's a weird bunch.
Yeah. I mean, just Ice Cube, really.
But it plays on that satirical side of war, too.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
And that's the point of the whole movie. I mean, it's not a pro-war movie at all.
No. And it brings out, like, some things that actually like happened during the Gulf War, which was like people going and raiding Saddam's like museums and stuff, and like
trying to get rich off.
Alternative motives
like,
in there.
These are things that actually happened, and then like I'm sure, not to the extent of like what did they blow up like a water truck or a milk truck? I forget what it was.
I forgot.
But like they blow up this truck full of like water liquid, and I don't think that really happened in real life. But I mean, otherwise it was like a fairly realistic movie of like these army people going in and trying to get rich off of a country they had invaded, and then at the end like kind of like realizing that they needed to help some of these people, like they came there to help them, but they were like trying to get rich at the same time, and then kind of going back to we need to help them.
Oh, one scene I never got out of my head was when, isn't it Mark Wahlberg that gets shot in the throat and they go in and like...
Did they show it?
Yeah.
Like they showed like a legitimate like...
Yeah, they show him like, they're inside grabbing that bullet or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
intense.
a great scene. I wanted to think of that too. That's a really
it's classic Mark Wahlberg, when he was still, to me, a raw actor.
Yeah, it was prior to like...
I mean, I'm not sitting here critiquing actors. I haven't acted a day in my life, but
Right.
that whiny Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Yes, that's good.
But
That might be why I never was like I watched what's that super the porn one.
Boogie Nights?
Oh, Boogie
Yes.
Nights, yeah.
Where I just like
film.
I was not
Super
feeling it, and I think it was mainly because Mark Wahlberg is so fucking whiny in it.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying.
It takes him a while to hit his Four Brothers stride. Man. He hits it, man. I love Four Brothers.
It's a
Dude.
good
Brothers is
movie.
pretty-
It's a good movie.
Yeah, but it's you have that when he's in that treasure room. He's like, baby, we're gonna make it out of here. We're gonna be rich. I'm gonna make everything good for our daughter. And it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Three Kings was definitely on there.
Yeah, it's
my
a good
number
one.
8.
Yeah.
Directed by your boy. I thought he was gonna be more your boy, but obviously not.
I like
Yeah.
Bill Russell.
He
David
lost
Russell,
me.
man.
He lost me a little bit recently.
With Joy?
I haven't watched
He
Joy.
didn't like American Hustle, I don't think.
You didn't like American
I loved
Hustle?
American
I really
Hustle.
liked American
I loved
Hustle.
American Hustle the first time I watched it.
Dude, he
And it's
fucking
definitely-
stole my shot, man. I have it on a beta tape of my shot. I went down. I panned down on my brother. So I did this little short. We had to do a bunch of these shots.
Yeah.
And mine was my brother getting kicked out of college. And I had Brady being his brother. And I actually literally had a letter saying, like, academic suspension, you're gone.
Yeah.
And I had it where, like, he's walking one way, Brady's walking the other. Then I get Joe in the chair, like, he's stressing about this. What the hell is he going to do? Pan down, and I don't see the letter in his hand. I'm like, shit. So I panned over to the left just a little bit and found the letter. I'm like, I fucking screwed that up. But I kept it anyways, right? Running low on light and shit.
Yeah.
Going to the screening, and the professor was like, yeah, this shot, I just love this shot right here. And I was like, really? I really kind of messed that
It was
up.
an accidental.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, that's what I was going for, Like, not really, but
And Russell stole it.
yeah, he stole it when they're panning up on that hotel, and then he goes to the right to where the window is. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, bastard.
How dare he?
Yeah,
That's
but
why
anyways.
everybody hates him. He's stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Should have punched him in the face too.
Yeah, I'd rather, there's a lot of people that like to punch.
Yeah. But alright. Was that your which one?
That was my, I guess 3.
Okay, yeah.
Or
2.
no, that was my 3. My 2 is Stretch, but I'm going with it. Pan's Labyrinth.
Spanish
Civil War?
Civil War, yeah. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I saw it too, and I was like, No Inglorious Bastards. I can't put that on there.
Yeah.
Man.
I saw it and I was like, I'm immediately.
Yeah,
putting that on there.
I want to put it in war. I mean,
You know,
it does
'cause,
have
I
a
mean,
lot of
the-
war
We
elements.
might be another V for Vendetta moment in this top
was-
10.
No. I think it's legit. I think
let
it's
me
legit,
explain.
But I'm
Alright.
upset about the
All
fact
right.
that I even
Because I mean, most of the film, at least the main part of the film is.
It's the war. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
well,
It really is.
it's not like
Well, it's not like
showing like
right
war,
in
like
side of war, but it.
shit-
You don't see
People
the
getting
front,
shot,
and that's
yeah.
the biggest thing for me. I don't
Yeah.
see battles.
Yes, but it is like the motivation of the characters is all surrounding the Spanish Civil War. I mean, The mom is getting.
No, I accept it.
Yeah, I know. The mom is
me.
getting married to like the general or whatever the hell.
Yeah, the douche. How about that?
Some asshole.
Yeah.
And you know, because the Civil War is coming, and you know people are gonna die, and she's like a rebel or something. It's been a long time since I watched it, but I love it. And the kid kind of like runs away into this magical world because like all this shit is going down.
Yeah.
And, you know, like it motivates her to basically
She's
the entire
escaping it.
yeah the
I mean, that's
entire
her.
movie is motivated by this war that's going on. So I felt like that deserved to be on there.
Do you believe that all the shit that she was seeing with the fawn and everything like that, and the guy with the hands and the eyeballs, you think it was all real, or was she really gonna just kill that baby?
I don't know. You never know. Like,
I would lean toward it being
And the
real.
bloodline right there. Kill the kid and be done with it.
Yeah.
It's a Game of Thrones-esque, but
That
well, I
is
mean,
very-
if you think about it, I mean, you really could take it either way, because you take away all the fantasy elements of it, and it still makes sense, like her journey through all of that, like in her way of
coping with the fact,
with what is going on
Right.
in
Yeah.
her life. I mean, so you could take it that way. I mean,
she was going to kill the baby.
yeah,
though.
that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And I don't know. I really don't know. It's
I
tough.
would lean towards it being real.
It's just that
Because it just
it's all her. Nobody
Yeah.
else saw anything.
That's-
It's
and that's-
all in her.
Right.
You know.
that
So
would, that would make it
perception
lean
is
towards-
reality sort of
Perception is
thing.
reality.
Or her way of just coming to terms with the fact that she's got to end this dude's
Yeah.
blood. I don't even know if that would be the main catalyst
know.
behind it. But
I don't know.
It's a beautiful movie.
It is.
It is.
It's
I really love
fantastic.
that movie.
One of the only
The
Guillermo
Wind.
del Toro movies that I actually like.
Are you serious? Hellboy's great.
Hellboy's
Hellboy's
great. Yeah.
Good.
I haven't watched Devil's Backbone yet.
I
Sorry,
haven't
Taylor,
seen his like
but
original ones.
I've had it for a couple
Yeah,
months.
a couple. Yeah, he said he also said he was going to kill you the other day. 'cause
Yeah,
you didn't
well,
give it back.
I'm expecting the death. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the elbow didn't kill you.
Just to be like,
Yeah.
Chandler will.
Yeah,
just to be like,
exactly.
you're not getting your movie back till I get the top 50s.
There you go.
Yeah, and also we need that Tarantino Real Frame of Mind that was coming out for The Hateful Eight.
That-
Believe it or not.
Was so long ago. Holy shit.
Do you remember that,
Yeah, I do remember that.
Was I associated with that one?
We still haven't.
I don't know.
edited into the
Was he there
horror
for
ones
it?
later. I don't think so.
I don't think I was there for that.
Because every time I
believe
went
it
to
was-
Taylor's house, it would just snow. And it would
Yep.
be snowing
Literally
uncontrollably.
every time. Literally every time.
And it'd be like, I'm sliding on the ice. Like, I gotta do this Real Frame of Mind, dude. You gotta
Yeah.
get this on there.
I think
A year later, it's
there was
not
at
up.
least there was at
That's
least
great.
2 or 3 like almost blizzards when we were going to fucking Taylor's house. It was
Yeah, for some
ridiculous.
reason, yeah, it would always snow.
Yeah, I
every
remember
time.
that. I bailed on a bunch of them because I didn't want to even
Yep.
try that.
Yeah, so
Understand.
All right, let's
Pan's Labyrinth.
Keep it rolling.
Yes.
All right. Number 3, Schindler's List. I know you guys don't have it. I had it.
it.
He had it.
But you had it
were at
lower. Yeah.
higher,
Whatever. Mine's at number 3, so that's what matters. Yes, it doesn't. I mean, show. I guess I came into this not really knowing. I'm just thinking war movies, something that the overarching story is taking place in a war. That's kind of
Yeah.
how I pictured this.
I as well, obviously, with Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, exactly.
I was rolling on 8, dude. The A plot being,
Yeah.
Understandable.
I get it. I get it. Like the climax of the
but I had to do it in a way because I had to file down this list.
Yeah.
I came in there with like 20.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky because I literally have these 11. So, but yeah, I mean, we've talked about this movie plenty of times, so I'll keep it short. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful take on something so horrific. Really, Spielberg captures what these people went through and the terror that happened through the Holocaust and World War II and whatnot, and everything from the cinematography to the to the score to the writing of the film was just top notch. And the biggest takeaway is that scene at the end when he's just, I could have saved more.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so
It's a tough scene
heart
to sit
wrenching.
through.
It's just
Yeah.
so heart wrenching.
But Ben Kingsley obviously killing it
Kingsley.
again in another role.
Kingsley, man,
and Ray Fiennes, dude.
he's just, I mean, it was hard to bounce back from that movie for him. Like, I mean, just as a viewer, you know what I mean? Because you see him and he's just so menacing. You know what I mean? He's such a...
He's great with a snake nose, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Harry Potter.
I'll awkwardly hug you now. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep it short with that one. But, I mean, it's great. It's one of Spielberg's best films, obviously.
Most mature, for sure.
Most mature, absolutely, yeah. So
I mean, even in the end credits where they're setting those rocks on his
Yes.
grave, which to me I would somewhat scoff at, but because the movie was so powerful, I sat through the entire
right.
I sat through the entire credit sequence just to see that happen, and it's like, damn, man.
Yeah.
That's intense, dude. It's really intense. They're just putting stones on this guy, Oscar Schindler's grave, but it was something that's like, yeah, that's a lot of heart goes into that, and I know
really
he struggled with shooting it, and it's like, I'm not giving sympathy for someone who's, ultra loaded or anything, but I mean, I suppose it takes a lot out of someone who is Jewish and has,
Right.
ancestors,
went through this event.
Exactly, so...
And to portray it so, like, I mean, realistically, too, like, I mean, that's hard for, especially something that's real.
Like, yeah, it's just hard for humans in general.
To say that this is something, like,
mentality.
in our history that other humans were doing to other people. Like,
Isn't it Spielberg who had the story of, like, his grandmother or his aunt that had the tattoo on her wrist?
I don't know.
Of, like, the number that they gave her in the internment camps, and, like, he would ask her, and then she'd tell him about that, and maybe that was part of it.
It
But,
could
like,
have been.
being inspired by something that, I'm not going to say so little, but something as minor as a tattoo that would spark a film like this. And
Right.
we talked the other day about what happened with Jaws and how the cinema and film gods looked down upon him and said, dude, that shark is not working because you're meant to do greater things than Jaws.
Yeah.
And like you said, and you pointed out greatly, couldn't word it any better, was like, to our benefit, that this guy is a master of filmmaking. But can't agree more.
So that's my 3. I'm going to do number 2, The Patriot.
Oh, let me see. Oh, fudge.
Did you forget it?
Oh, my God.
Oh, no, I was
pulled
going to say.
a Damon. I pulled a Damon. 1, 2.
You didn't number them, did you?
Oh, my God. Holy
My numbering is
shit.
My numbering is literally
Do you
off.
want to just double team it?
Oh, my God. Yeah, dude, we're going to have to because it's...
Technically, where would it
There's
fall?
2 number 2s on my list.
Oh,
I'm not even
wow.
shitting you guys.
Hey, talk about them both. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, let's do the Patriot, man. Like, I have it as a 2. It's higher than a 2, but, like, Blood Diamond, I think, was going to be a 6.
Oh, or was it? Okay.
Because of the fact that it was a stretch for me in the whole front thing.
Sure,
But,
sure,
dude,
sure.
talk about the Patriot.
All right, Patriot. I mean, my second, but I haven't gotten to talk about my other one, because Braveheart. Wait.
No, I didn't have Braveheart.
Who had Braveheart?
I did.
Okay, there you go. But my second Mel Gibson film.
But my... Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool.
Interesting.
Second Mel Gibson film on my top 5, technically. My original top 5. What more can be said about this movie? It's just the hurdles that this guy goes throughout the film and the resolution at the end. I don't remember being so fulfilled seeing somebody take another person's life in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm like cheering about it.
Like, one thing that I think we as a culture, moviegoers, we like to draw into a lot of what critics say and what other people think about films, and it sways us, and we're all guilty of it.
Oh, for sure.
But one way, to me personally, that I know when I love a movie, and it could be something like a Bam Margera directed film like Haggard, which I can quote endlessly.
Haggard.
It's to me, it's those things that you look at and it's like, yeah, that to me was a film that I'll go back to because I was delighted in this way or this way. And this is something that Taylor said, and I've thought about it long and hard about. He goes to movies to be entertained, and that is definitely part of it. You go to movies to be entertained, and it's got to be a slice of the pie.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For some people more than others, and people look at films differently. But what I'm saying is, this film is, this isn't even a word, I'm making this up, but like over Hollywoodized film.
Absolutely.
It's Roland Emmerich who did Independence Day, and in the hands of maybe a little bit more mature director,
yes,
this film would be a classic. I dare say if this was Edward Zwick or Mel Gibson directing this film, or even Spielberg, this film would be out of the roof. It would be out of this galaxy, I think.
Yeah.
With how great this is.
We still came out with something that's great.
Right.
Like with
subpar director. You don't touch on slavery at all, which to me I had no problem with.
No.
Spike Lee had to bitch about it. It doesn't show blacks. It's like, but yeah, then all of a sudden we
to an extent.
All of a sudden we show slavery in there, and then you're bitching about them using the word, the N-word, like he does with, Tarantino. You can't have it both ways, man.
No.
They decided to go a route with that. They're not going to touch it in this story. That's fine with me. They have freed people working on their plantation, so be it. So be it.
And I mean, it wasn't even.
They explain it too.
It's not even the central point of the story, so it's not even a necessity.
This guy. Yeah, it's this
There's
guy.
so much more going on in that timeline than just slavery.
The sins of this guy's past are coming to haunt him, or so he thinks, and he has to come to grip with that. And I think that's why The Patriot, to me, and not only that, but I'll tell you right now, the king of, to me, war in film is Mel Gibson. The dude,
absolutely.
and I'm gonna say it again, so I'll get it out now. He's the king of directing the action in war. He's the king of acting in that, and showing you, and grasping you emotionally throughout a movie like this. You want to cry when Heath Ledger dies. Like, the guy whips out some tears. Oh God, help me! Oh God, help me! Like, I don't even know if that was scripted, because it seems so real. And it's like, how do you cry over someone who you're just acting with? Like, he's good, and he is. I'm kind of sour at the fact that the dude's not all there in the head.
I know, it's disappointing because
he's coming out with another movie though.
Directing it and just acting.
Directing in it, and
fantastic.
I think it's a war movie too.
I mean, as good as an actor he is, I think he's a Ben Affleck in the fact that he's a better director. Like,
he's a great. I think he is to me, I see him as both lights. Like, this guy can direct and act, and he can do it any day of the week. I don't care what he does.
I mean, Apocalypto, fantastic. Braveheart, we'll get to that, but like, it just he does really good work, especially with a warlike setting, like you said, king of it. Yeah.
But I think, like I said, it's a quiet film in the realm of war films, of great war films, because you don't, like I said, it's Hollywood.
Yes,
it's too much Roland Emmerich for me. And I think he did well with what he did with the film, but it was nominated for Best Cinematography, Best Score, and Sound. John Williams does the score, and to this day I can listen to that thing on repeat.
Was that on your top scores too, or wasn't in some?
It might. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. We've dealt with so much garbage with that in YouTube. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Screw you too.
But anyways, So The Patriot to me is. There's so much that I absolutely love and I respect from that film, and I think nobody gives it the respect that it deserves, because for some reason
when we made this list, my number one and this movie were the first to immediately pop to my head.
Right,
you know what I mean?
And I had to go with, am I going overall, is this a stronger war film? And then the biggest thing that held me back was that it's so it's just so Hollywood. I don't have any other word to describe
I completely understand what you're saying, and it truly is. I mean, there's, it's supposed to be set in a real world, situation, but it suspends disbelief with some of the stuff going on.
With the way they villainize the English.
Jason Patrick
Jason Isaac, yeah.
Sorry, Jason Isaac, not Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he is also another one that pops up numerous times. Jason Isaacs is a great war actor.
Yeah.
But that's all I gotta say on the Patriot.
Yeah, for sure. You have
Damon?
Not about the Patriot. Have you guys seen the trailer or heard about Free State of Jones?
Yes.
The Matthew McConaughey movie. Yeah. I'm dubbing it The Patriot 2 because that's what it made me feel like when I was watching the trailer.
Yeah.
Because it's like very similar and like he's a war
like a guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, the guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. Well, it's very
Taking
pro.
back his...
It's very pro-American. It doesn't give you any other optics other than we have to root for this character, and this is why I think people overlook it, is because they don't understand almost to the degree of looking at American Sniper as through the eyes of Chris Kyle. We have to look at this film through the eyes of Mel Gibson or Benjamin Martin.
Yep.
It's his story. It's his from start to finish, and that's what we have to go off of.
Right. His perspective alone, yes.
British men showed no such quarter when they fired on a ship carrying my wife and daughter. I watched from 300 yards out as they were burned alive. You have my sympathies, but my orders. Damn your sympathies. Who are you to give such orders? I know what you and your men did to my countrymen at Fort Wilderness. I could go on, dude.
I was gonna say, you just gonna quote the whole movie, or
why can't you act? You could remember so much.
So I watched this movie a million freaking times. Anyways, sorry, I just had to get that out because I love that French guy.
Yeah.
Okay, that was your 2?
Yes.
All right, so 3 for whatever my
you
3
have 2 twos.
is.
whatever number it was.
Yeah, so I have 2 number 2s. Cheater. 3 Braveheart. You had
I had it out higher.
No.
Higher is like...
You had it lower.
4.
Lower on your list.
All right.
Technically, that's
Mel Gibson, like I said, knows how to direct action and battles. He also knows how to act in it too. And he doesn't spare expense when it comes to shooting locations. Going back to Apocalypto and going to this film, Braveheart, you have those rolling hills, those green meadows. I remember taking a trip down to Milwaukee and seeing a meadow and just instantly thinking, that looks like Braveheart. And going past and saying that to people. But the dude is on his A game when it comes to acting in highly emotional scenes. And it's one of the main reasons he is frequented so much on my list. And we went through it a lot in The Patriot. But to me, the story is a breeze in comparison to the runtime. And in very little time, we are caught up in Wallace's life and found rooting for him. Obviously, what happens to his wife. And it's very gruesome. Like, they just show you her neck getting slit. And they don't cut away. But obviously things go south fast, and we are left with an incredible story of Scotland's fight for freedom from Edward I of England, Longshanks. But it's a story of allies, betrayals, and what happens to this character throughout. And his sole motivation is to free the people around him, and his struggle in doing so. And that, to me, is a very respectable character. It's a very respectable film, and then obviously the end. And James Horner's score is wonderful. If you haven't listened to our scores, not on our top 10, go back and listen. It's only got 4 views because we had to take down the earlier one. We're up to basically like 40-some views. Come on. So give us some more on that and listen to it.
Please.
Damn Ennio Morricone. Screwing us big time.
Way to go. Give back that Oscar, dude.
So
Give back.
that's what I have to say about Braveheart, to be honest. I mean, it's go ahead.
It's an epic. I mean, it's well directed, well acted, and it executes something like, I mean, I was looking up the movie just to refresh my mind. I haven't seen it for a while, but like the fact that there's, I mean, so little on actual Wallace as a person from back in the day, so little like documented information about him as a character that they were able to make a movie so compelling. Obviously you can put whatever you want into a Hollywood movie and make whatever you want out of something, but what they gave us was just it was great. It's a memorable movie in every aspect. I mean, from the blue face war paint to the mooning of their enemies.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this movie is just a very, very fantastic movie, and he was acknowledged for it and won 5 Oscars, so it did something right.
Great. That was
so number 2, part 1.
2, yeah, part 1 or part B, whatever.
Part B.
Black Hawk Down.
It was lower.
Yep, I had it low.
Jeez.
I've only seen
it's on my list.
Stunningly shot, almost documentary style at some points, and using slow motion in battle before 300 made it cool. Personally, I feel like this can almost stand up there as an anti-war piece if looked at it between the lines. Young men that are so eager and willing to die actually meet an adversary that refuses to be trifled with. I had something I was going to write in there and I forgot.
Way to go.
What was I going to say? Well, I'll try to remember as we go on. But, it's a clear statement, especially highlighted by the quote, this is civil war. This is our war, not yours. As one of the, I think it's Somalians says to one of the Americans, it states it right there in the script. And then obviously it's pulled all together with Sam Shepard's character, who is brilliant in the movie. Him wiping up blood in the infirmary at the end with a cloth and just spreading it more and more, and it just creates this big puddle of blood. And he makes more of a mess than he does. And he's the one behind it. He sent them in there, and he sent them basically to their doom. But if you think about it, I'm trying to put together something. I'm still not 100% sure what I was going to say. But if you think about how the city sort of rises up against these Americans, and we're supposed to look at the Americans as being good and righteous, but these guys they're doing what they want to do. They are defending their home. They are doing what they need to do to make sure that their way of life stays.
Yeah, in their eyes, they're doing what is good.
Yeah, I don't know how I was going to connect it. I thought it was something like...
And going back to that whole, blood smearing thing, and the fact that you mentioned that the movie could be, between the lines, an anti-war movie. I mean, that says it right there. That scene symbolizes, the effects of war and
metaphor on modern warfare.
Absolutely, and how the fact that we meddle in things that aren't necessarily our problem.
The world
will
police
spread and
I think I got it now. Tying it back to thank you. Shishi. Tying it back to Captain America: Civil War.
There we go.
And how those people of Sokovia find a way to sort of spoiler, maybe possibly.
Maybe.
How they find a way to rise up and sort of almost avenge their country and their home, and that's sort of relatable to what these Somalians are doing.
Yep.
They're doing what anyone else would do, and that's getting at the people who are just destroying their home. They're shooting it up. They're blowing it up. So. Yeah, it's a great work. I think all around you have a star-studded cast. A lot of faces.
There's so many faces, even before
Tom Hardy is in it.
Yep.
But I think the greatest part about it, and this is again an attribute to the writing. This is a nod to the writing, where you have such a serious movie that you don't want to overwhelm people watching it. So you tie in Tom Hardy's character, the dude from Trainspotting, and then Scott Smalls from The Sandlot. And those three characters are supposed to be our sort of comic relief of what they're going through. Yeah. He gets his finger shot off, and he's waving at people. Now he's missing a finger, so he's waving, with a missing finger. Haha, that's funny,
Yeah.
And then you have Nelson, the guy who's from Train Spotting, and he can't hear anything, so he's always yelling, and that's funny. And then you got Tom Hardy's character, who's sort of a dope, and his character, I don't know how he bulked up so much, man, but he's a shrimp in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's funny as well. And those three characters, and they're the way that they give off that comedic value to the movie.
Yep.
But then you got Eric Bana and
right.
how he shapes and helps Josh Hartnett's role.
Yeah.
And then you have even what the hell is his name? Legolas from the
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom is in there, and it's just. Yeah, I mean, Jason Isaacs is in there. You have
Cillian Murphy too.
Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, you have one of the dudes from what's that motorcycle show?
Sons of
Sons
Sons of Anarchy is in there. Dark-haired, curly guy.
Oh yeah.
He's in there. Yeah. There's just so many people.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think Ridley Scott did an amazing job with that film. It is a movie that is worth every single minute.
Yes.
And like I said, read between the lines when you watch it, because it's more than just let's watch,
a bunch of dudes blow shit up.
Right. And like I said, they take time with creating the slow motion, so you're not as jumbled. Like, it's fun to look at that compared to like Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The way the editing styles are so different, where they want to be in your face, whoosh, moving constantly,
right.
Jason Bourne style, and all that stuff. But Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down.
Ones.
Oh, I'm first.
Yes, you are.
You called it earlier.
Come on!
Hurt Locker.
Really?
I knew it.
I had it fairly high on my top 50. I mean, if that ever comes out, you'll know that.
Don't blame me.
Another shot at Taylor.
Okay, good.
Well, I can't wait till we
Taking a
get Taylor
beating.
on here and I ask him about it, because you know who the blame's going to be on? You.
Wow, I don't have the
Truce-
footage.
I don't know. He.
Chris never give me the. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it will be.
Taylor, this is all your fault, you idiot.
All right.
So yeah, Hurt Locker. I think it's probably one of the best, like, war movies that focuses on kind of the psyche of the people in the war.
American Sniper.
It's better than American Sniper.
Debatable.
It's not.
Avatar was a better movie. I think Avatar should have won Best
Oh
Picture.
my God.
I swear to God. I'm not even saying that. It's
Oh, really?
I swear to God, yeah.
I will.
It was because it's
I
a woman
can't-
that directed it. That's
I-
why it won.
Can't handle this right now.
Wait, which? Oh,
Catherine Bigelow.
Cat-
or your her locker. Okay. I forgot which one
Anyway.
we're on.
Did she win Best Director that year?
Yes,
Yes.
she did.
Oh, okay. So she did sweep it. It wasn't the Ben Affleck effect.
No, she didn't. Ben Affleck it.
Okay.
God damn it! Now I'm lost.
Sorry.
Okay. So
I want
The
to
movie-
hear more about that afterwards, though. Continue.
okay, the movie focuses on Jeremy Renner's character. Well, it starts off with Guy Pearce getting blown up by a bomb, with Anthony Mackie and some dude who I don't know the name of.
Yeah. that
And
guy.
I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm pretty sure I will watch anything that Anthony Mackie's in, because I just love him so
Like,
much.
really our
I don't-
first-
He's
I don't
really
think
just-
that great.
Oh, that's
Really?
weird. I think he's.
Well, like I
really-
said, I was really
Yeah.
turned off by him in that other
Yeah.
film. It's very uneven from what I get to. And I don't like Falcon. I think Falcon's a stupid character.
Yeah.
No offense.
Sam's. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it.
He's not even a super. Like, people argue that,
He
what's his
should be
face who
bigger.
shoots the arrows isn't a superhero. Well, this guy has, like, mechanized wings. He
Yeah.
doesn't do anything other than that.
Yeah.
He's a regular
He's
guy.
actually, I mean, in the comics, he's a genius level intellect, isn't he?
He has telepathic abilities with birds too.
Well, that would be better than just getting wings and that's it.
Yeah, but they try to make it more realistic.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't
Anyways.
kill anyone either.
Sorry.
Well, it's all
Um,
good. It's all good.
There I go again.
Just interrupting, and I can't remember anything.
Hurt
Okay.
Locker.
Hurt Locker, yes.
Jeremy Renner,
Renner.
Anthony Mackie. You watch
Anthony
anything
Mackie.
with Anthony
I
Mackie.
will watch anything with Anthony Mackie. I have watched a lot of things with Anthony Mackie that I'm like, what the hell am I watching? So Jeremy Renner's character is probably, like, in my opinion, like the poster child for PTSD. Maybe not even PTSD. Kind of like an addiction to being at war. Yeah, that movie came out first. American Sniper ripped it off. Anyway,
Real person.
It's a real
Yeah.
story.
Anyway,
That's good.
so he goes to Afghanistan, Iraq. I can't remember which one they're in. Middle East. He's with Anthony Mackie, and they don't get along at first. Why am I going through a rehash of this?
Just
movie?
tell us why you like it.
I like it mainly because the characters are. It shows like this, the inner workings of what they're going through. It shows them on their downtime, like between. Like what they do between when they're out,
right,
diffusing bombs. Like they can't go anywhere because they're in a war zone, basically. Yeah. So they're just like in their bunker listening to metal and like getting drunk and wrestling. And that's like, I mean, from just the people that I know, I mean, that have gone over there and been in wars, that's generally what they did. Like they just got drunk and like, you know.
How many scenes do we see that? I think it's one scene that they
It is one scene. And
Sorry.
Damn.
Sorry.
Damn, I'm going to interrupt you so much when
I'm
you go
sorry.
to number
I
one.
was just adding it in there.
I'm so going to interrupt you. Anyway. And it's just... I mean, that scene, it just shows, like, how they deal with what is going on around them. The scene where Jeremy Renner goes back home and, like, to his... I think it's his girlfriend and his baby, but it might be his wife. And his baby. And he can't handle not being at war. Like, he's like... I love you, but I have to go back. Or, like, Anthony Mackie's just like, I need to get the hell out of here. Like, this is, like, making me lose my mind. The other guy gets shot by Jeremy Renner, I'm pretty sure. And is like, yeah, I get to go home. But Renner has been there so long, and he's so good at what he does, he's, like, addicted to it. And that hit me really hard. Because I'm just like, that is not something that you want to be addicted to. Like, life-threatening situations where you could literally die at any time.
Yeah.
Evel Knievel loved it.
He did.
He was a psychopath.
I mean, more so than Anthony Mackie. I mean, I did like his role in the movie, but I feel like
he just doesn't get the starring roles he deserves.
I just feel like, well, and I feel like that's kind of the same for Renner. Like, he's a great actor. Yeah. He can pull The Town. I mean, right there. But he can pull some stuff out, and I don't think they're utilizing that. He's not doing a lot, but yeah, I like the movie. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I saw it a couple times right out of the gate. I own it on DVD, so that means I was a quick one on it. But
me too.
I think that in the long run, what doesn't hold up for me is everything that Renner goes through. That sort of, I don't believe it in his character. He does not seem like he's a changed guy. Whereas some people can argue in Goodfellas, where they wouldn't like the movie because Ray Liotta's character doesn't learn a damn thing in the end.
Yeah. When
you look at this movie and that kid that he somewhat becomes so involved with, and it ends up getting some people killed, right? Yeah. And there's no repercussions with this guy's character. Is that he's going to alienate whoever he wants to because he has this fixation with it, and I don't get that from there. Maybe that's the way that Catherine Bigelow wanted it to be, was that you want to hate this character, maybe. I don't know. But then you got the blonde-haired kid who's a big-ass wimp and wants to get out of there, and I don't even know what happens in the end part where it's night and they're doing something and he gets captured or something. It's like, come on.
I can explain it to you. So there's a bombing at like an embassy or something, and they see where the people were going, like the people who did the bombing. I don't know how, or they assumed they were looking at somewhere like that would be where they'd go if they were going to go somewhere. So they take it into their own hands because they're dumbasses, and they go after the people who did the bombing, and the one dude that I don't know the name of gets caught. And Mackie and Renner have to go after him. And it's like really just quick. It's a tiny part in the movie, but it goes really quick, and they see him getting dragged off by these people, and they shoot to like scare him or to hit him, I guess. And then they end up hitting the guy they're trying to save. Because I don't know. I just feel like that would be something that would actually happen, though, if you're just shooting.
Maybe, but I don't know if they'd take it into their own hand.
No, I mean, that's I think a part of. Renner's character is just, he was just so like obsessed, and he just needed to be in the action at all times.
I mean, the movie as a whole, though, when I go back to it and try to rethink it, there's no point in that movie that stands out to me. Not one. And that to me is a flaw of the film, personally, when I go back and there's nothing besides, them putting on the suit and pulling out IEDs. It's like, you got me in the beginning. The beginning, to me, I thought was really great. And then after that, it's like, I don't feel threatened. I don't fear for the life of Jeremy Renner's character at all.
I don't think you're supposed to. I mean, there might be some points where you're supposed to, but I think it's not like a war movie in that sense. It's a war movie in the sense that it takes a look at the effects of war on people, not like battles.
But I'm still saying, if you're putting me through a film with 3 main characters, I'm supposed to care for those characters. I'm supposed to worry about Jeremy Renner's character pulling out 5 or 6 IEDs around him and being like, oh shit. But I'm not, because to me, this guy is fearless. He doesn't care if he dies or not. There's nothing to him that is going to make me feel sorry for him. He doesn't care, and that's to me is something that
not enough vulnerability, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? Like, he doesn't have. He's too. I mean, not one-dimensional, but he's too, like, you know what I mean, like. He's too, like you said before, like, crazy almost. He's just gonna go and do it, and you're like, he doesn't care if he
don't
dies.
get me wrong, I like the movie. I think it's highly overrated. I really do. I think it's on the level. You guys are probably gonna punch me for this. I think it's on the level of Crash, of being overrated. Like,
I think Crash is overrated. I wouldn't say
I like
Kurt Russell is overrated.
I don't mind Crash. I don't mind it, but I think it's on the level of, like, overrated.
It does have overrated elements, yes.
That it won an Oscar? Didn't it win Best Picture?
Yeah. Nobody knew that was happening. Everyone's surprised, even them.
Like, what the?
But let's continue.
All right.
Can I just?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
No, just come on.
I was just gonna take a shot at American Sniper.
Just do it. Just do it.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
So, I can't remember. You said something that I was like, "Oh, you don't think a character would do that?" But Chris Kyle calling his wife in the middle of a fucking gunfight was realistic.
They do that in numerous war movies. They do it in Black Hawk Down.
Really goddamn ridiculous.
I
Someone's just like, all right, I'm gonna get on my Bluetooth headset and fucking call my wife.
What was a satellite phone?
Oh, that part. There was a part when we got here that he was like on like he had headphones hooked into a phone. Maybe it was a satellite phone.
But they also took the time to set up the fact that this guy is like a god when it comes to. He's a hero to basically everybody that is out there with him, and so he's gonna get special liberties. Hey, I want to be on the ground with these people going in and clearing out. No, you're up there.
Too special.
Maybe, but I'm not going.
Also, it doesn't seem like that would actually happen.
All right.
I feel like that's not something that actually happened.
You guys are dipping?
No,
I thought he was getting ready to move, so I was moving my stuff.
It's just so
So I
on this
could-
chair. I just have to stand up for a little bit.
I'll
Sorry.
get cushions
I'm
next
good.
time. Number 1, I think we share the same one.
Yes, we do.
Saving Private Ryan.
Private Ryan.
All right.
So I was 2 for 2.
Get ready to be interrupted.
Aw.
Go ahead.
I mean, I've talked about this movie plenty of times.
We
It was
both, yeah,
high.
we definitely have.
It was high. I mean, you guys haven't heard this yet, but it was high on my top 50 movies.
How high?
I think it broke
Was it
my
as
top
high as
20.
how high?
It was in my top 20 for sure. But Steven Spielberg, again, back to what Scott said earlier about best opening scenes in a movie. I feel like this movie is up there. Like, you can't touch how that portrayal of D-Day was captured, and it just brings you into the film right away. And I think a good thing to talk about, or at least mention, is just how different of an overall story this is. It's a war movie, but I mean, the main point is to go and save somebody in the middle of the war, which is something at the time is pretty unique for a war movie to do, than just to focus solely on the fighting. I mean,
it really humanizes a war in a way. I think obviously specifically from the American side, but you have these young men who are going on a mission. They're very sour for one guy. There's a bigger mission to be had. But
yes.
Tom Hanks so eloquently points out that if this mission going to find this one guy gets him closer to his wife, he's going to do it.
Absolutely.
And there is nothing in that makes me feel like it's pushed or forced onto you. I believe that when he is going to save this Ryan, we're actually brought into the story. It's like we're part of his platoon where we're going with them, and you find out more and more about Tom Hanks's character and the motivations of all these people. They're kids.
Yeah, while they find out, you're finding out with them, and I completely agree with that. You're with them the whole way,
and they're kids. They, the doctor talks about his mother and faking to go to sleep and the regrets he has, and sometimes to get feelings like that, you have to be put in a situation where it's like, damn, I was a really big dick in that situation. Yeah. And you have then at the end where he's just crying for his mother. Man, that scene. It's a terrible scene. And then you have Tom Hanks breaking down, which I think is a pivotal scene in there because he is so straight-laced, so stone-faced that you feel like he is impenetrable when it comes to everything going on around him. Like the guy that goes to funerals and doesn't cry. Right. But behind the scenes, he's shedding some tears. And I think that is a great aspect of Tom Hanks' character. But even the heart-to-heart that he has with Ryan, and Ryan reminiscing about his brothers, and him Ryan asking Tom Hanks' character about his wife, and he said, no, that story is just for me. That's for me to remember. So it's very heartfelt. It's
super heartfelt. Yeah, I mean, the emotions are on full blast throughout this whole movie. Like, right. I mean, just touching back on the Giovanni Ribisi scene. I say what you want about him as an actor. I know a lot of people aren't big fans, but I think that scene,
I loved him in Stay Alive. To Loomis.
Yeah. But that scene is just so heart-wrenching, and it's stuck with me since I've seen the movie. And
to be in a situation, and I've never been in like a near-death situation, but I've been at points where someone is trying to tickle me, when I'm a young kid, right? They're gonna tickle me, and it's like there's nothing I can do. So the only way to get out of this situation is try to talk myself out of it. Please, don't. We don't have to do this. And at the point where he's outmatched in strength, then he goes to pleading. And it's too late, and you just see that knife go in, and it's a really sad situation because he is so it's so emotional for his character being a Jew himself.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And like the way he just breaks down. Hey, look, fish, it's a Hitler Youth knife, and then he says whatever in Yiddish or whatever, and then he just starts breaking down, crying.
And I think the cast, it's a young cast too.
God.
I mean, as for actors, and I think they all just do so well, from Tom Sizemore to
again,
Barry Pepper as the sniper.
We Were Soldiers, Barry Pepper's in as well. Yeah, with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, it all comes around.
Yep.
But,
it's like an expanded universe here.
Yeah. But everybody did fantastic. I was just gonna say something now. Ed Burns.
Oh yeah, Edward Burns. Yeah, he's a great.
Have you ever dived into any of his own?
I actually at a point I actually thought he was Ben Affleck.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason I thought they were the same person. But I've seen him in some other, B shit films or whatever. Something that my parents rented way back in the day.
He does a lot of stupid stuff, but he did a lot of. And this is total sidetrack, but he did a lot of independent films back in the day, and actually I credit his writing, because my dad had a book of him, of his first original 3 screenplays he's ever written, and I read that thing back and front, and he made them all movies too, and I credit for his original movies for a big part of why I jumped into film. Yeah. So I have to give him a nod, and I don't think he's a great actor, but he's had an impact on my life, and especially
he's a key character in that film as well.
Yeah, he's very key, maybe one of the only survivors. But Saving Private Ryan. As far as war movies come, for me, there's nothing that touches it.
Great, Damon, you were gonna interject.
No, I'm good.
It was on your list.
It was on my list, but you guys pretty much summed it up.
You were supposed to cut us off too.
Yeah, I'm not
lying sack of crap. Back to that. Are we allowed to swear on this? I mean, Joey just goes ham on them. So
It
We
is
just
what
kind of
it
did
is,
it.
yeah.
I mean, we were swearing. It's fine. Whatever.
all right, cool.
All right, let's do this list. So 2 Saving Private Ryans versus 1 Hurt Locker.
That's one.
All right.
Is Hurt Locker on your list?
Yeah, I made it at 10.
It was.
I figured you guys would have had it.
It was 9 for me. So.
We had two number 2s at Patriot. Mine's a little bit of a liberty because I had 2 number 2s. Do we want to do it? Just give it to Damon with Hurt Locker? It's up to you.
Looks a little butthurt, but
I will fight you.
it's up to him.
I
Do you think it deserves 2 on
I do.
our list?
I do. I do.
All right, take
It's
it.
the best picture winner. I will give it that. So the Hurt Locker,
One of the
although
very
I feel
few
like it
ones.
is somewhat overrated.
Patriot then has to be 3.
For sure.
I mean, what was your 2 and 3?
I don't remember.
Don't you have a list?
Fucking where are my
Black Hawk Down and Braveheart are also on my list.
Braveheart was
higher
my
on yours.
original number 4.
So go ahead.
But do you have anything higher than that? Because I have Black Hawk Down higher than Braveheart.
I have Pan's Labyrinth, so I mean.
All right,
Braveheart.
Yeah.
And then my number 3 was Saving Private Ryan, so obviously that's not in the.
So 5s. What are we looking at here? I still have Black Hawk Down.
I think. Yeah, but Blood Diamond was on like all 3 of ours.
We can go Blood Diamond at 5.
Yeah, I think that was fair.
I would argue though, in war films, I'm just saying.
I'm kind of impartial for this because like my favorite ones out of any of them are already on, so it's like kind of like go nuts from here.
So it's like Siski and the scores when he had all of his top 5s on there.
Yeah.
And we are battling for 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I'm gonna argue for Black Hawk
Then
Down.
throw it down. He got
over
he got
Blood Diamond. I'll put Blood Diamond at 6. There's no problem.
I
with
think
me.
that's fair.
That was my initial 6 anyway.
What's your
what is your what else?
What
do
we
you
got?
have?
We got more from him. He has got.
I'm
Pan's
still
Labyrinth.
waiting for you guys to put Pan's Labyrinth on.
He's got Pan's Labyrinth. What's your 3 though?
Saving Private
Saving
Ryan.
Ryan. Okay.
And Schindler's List. And then
Oh,
Blood
Schindler's
Diamond.
List was my number 3 too.
Schindler's List next.
Yeah, there you go. Totally forgot about that.
Schindler's Oat.
Schindler's Oat.
That's what it came up as. 7. We're fighting for Blood Diamond versus Pan's Labyrinth.
Obviously Blood Diamond because we all had
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Even though it was a late ad for Trace.
I forgot about it, but I love that movie a lot. So
American Sniper versus Pan's Labyrinth.
how many
Please
spots
back
do we
me
have
up on
left?
We are at 8, so 8, 9, 10.
I mean, like, if we're talking about movies overall, I would back you up because I like Pan's Labyrinth a hell of a lot more, but it's like, it's hard because it's like war movies. And I don't think, and I know there's a war element to it, I just
So
don't think Pan's Labyrinth when I think war movie. I think American Sniper for sure.
Concur.
I'm sorry.
I just can't even look at you.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
You don't know how happy I am, listeners, right now to put that over Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth at 9?
Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth at 9.
Locker's still higher.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't argue with the awards that got. I just feel like it was more of a Democrat liberal thing that was going on with that release.
That might be why I like it because I am very liberal.
No, you don't like it.
Oh, okay. We're talking about a different movie. Okay. I thought you were talking about Hurt Locker. Talking about American Sniper.
Why is Hurt Locker liberal?
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Oh.
You just started mentioning liberals, so I was like, I agree because I'm a liberal.
All right, we're at 10 now. What do we need? Round it out.
Inglourious Basterds is the only other one on my list.
Ooh. Okay, so Inglourious Bastards, honorable mention for me, on your list.
It was very low.
Okay.
Actually,
What else is on your list?
Three Kings we're looking at.
Three Kings was my 11.
Three Kings was my 8.
Three Kings is my 7, but I had to move it up because of. Whatever.
Okay.
Inglourious Bastards is my 8.
And it was my 6, but it had bumped up into my...
Wow. What do you want to do here?
Should we flip
Is there a
something?
coin?
We have that piece of wood again.
Yeah, that was
right.
helpful.
I think Inglourious Basterds is a better film, so let's give it the red on the top.
Yep.
And clear wood for
Three Kings.
Three Kings. Oh, please just get him Inglourious Basterds. All right, here we go.
It's gonna be clear. Oh,
Glorious Bastards.
Chair helped out in this one.
You suck, David.
So Three Kings will be our first honorable mention.
I'd like to throw in. I had Jarhead and Lone Survivor on my list.
Oh fuck! I totally forgot about Lone Survivor. It wouldn't have been on
Specifically, I mean, the performances were good. The movie was okay overall, but the soundtrack by Explosions in the Sky was so great. I like that group, that band, anyways. But I thought it was really
I had
fitting.
Fury on mine that I would probably take out for.
I haven't seen it.
What about We Were Soldiers?
Never saw it.
Never saw it.
Oh my
Or Thin Red Line. I had like
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Thin Red Line was on an honorable mention. I just
Letters from Iwo Jima. I had that on
300. Anybody?
Nope.
I had it at 7. Three Kings at 8. Tears of the Sun at 9.
I
Bruce
told
Willis.
you I suck at watching modern war movies. I guess.
And then
'cause
Hurt
You
Locker
have
at
Tears
10.
of the Sun. Well, you don't have Tears of the Sun because I borrowed it, but you own Tears of the Sun.
I didn't. Well, if I did, it was a movie that I was given that I never watched.
You did because
Seemed
I
like Bruce
borrowed
Willis
it.
put in half an effort at least. 10. I said the Hurt Locker, and the only thing I put after the Hurt Locker is overrated. Not even. I like it, dude. It made my top 10. Come on.
Come on.
All right, I'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
I'll do. Yeah. 3,
10,
2,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's
we
it.
all do one together.
All right. Here we
write 'em
go.
down?
Finally, we have not on our top 10 shows best war films post 1989, and at number 10 we have Inglourious Bastards. Number 9, Pan's Labyrinth. Number 8, American Sniper.
Crickets.
Oh,
Number 7 is Blood Diamond. Number 6,
yeah, bro.
Schindler's List. And number 5, Black Hawk Down.
coming in at 4, Braveheart. 3, The Patriot. And number 2, The Hurt Locker. And
Number 1,
Number 1.
Number what?
film
Saving
Private Ryan. Thank you, everybody. Check out Captain America Civil War, but before you do that, check out our reviews, our roundtable discussion, or what do we call it? Roundtable review?
Yeah, Roundtable Review.
It was spoilers, so beware. The reviews do not.
It's just not even cool.
A little Snapchat. What else? Like, subscribe, comment, please.
Comment any other top 10s you'd like to see. That was pretty helpful.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
that
one
was
comment we
cool.
got.
Yeah.
So if you have any kind of ideas that you want us to tackle, throw that in the comments.
And Film Eat Film should be coming out soon. I'm trying to line up a couple competitors and our first host. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is. And they will be shorter than our Not Other Top 10 shows. So,
Yeah.
excellent to that. All right. Remember, war is bad.
That's